Happy Halloween. Welcome back to the channel. This is my furry cup. Right, I wanted to do something a little bit different today, seeing as it's Halloween. And I thought, what can I do that's a little bit spooky, a little bit horrific? And I thought, I know what I could do. I can open up the annals of the Stripey Rambles video library and show you my video Nasties collection. Always loved that era of movies, the sleaze, the nasties. So shall we get involved? Okay, first up in the collection is the 1971 A Bay of Blood by Mario Brava. Anthropophagus, the old George Eastman. I always thought that was kind of a cool cover, and I got a German box set of that with 2 discs in it, and the original German with subtitles. Kind of cool. Might be German actually, it might actually be Italian. Now, not all of these are on the video nasties list, and this is one of them. But obviously it's part of the Evil Dead collection, and the Evil Dead, the original, was definitely on video nasties list. So there's a couple more. It's not the official nasties, but a lot of them are in here. Axe, Lisa, 1974. Now these are really cool documentaries made in 2005 and 2006. Band the Sadies videos, and it's a nice little introduction into the whole shenanigans and how people could go to jail for watching a movie or owning a film. Nazi exploitation film, The Beast in Heat. Crazy little guy in a cage that used to rape people to death, or the victims. Lucio Fulci's The Beyond, classic horror. Beyond the Darkness, or Bui Amiga. This is a messed up one. Blood Feast, Blood Vengeance with George Eastman again. Blood Sucking Freaks, Bloody Moon. That's really rare to get hold of on VHS, is Bloody Moon. Really rare. The Boogeyman. Still think this is the cut version though. I've been trying to source the uncut one for years, but to no avail. Brain Damage. The Burning. Now this is like a proper horror film. Decent budget, great effects. Tom Savini, the makeup artist, did the effects on this one, and it shows. Great film. Soundtrack by Rick Wakeman, I do believe. Cannibal, FEROX. Classic film. Same old tale. Group of people go into the jungle, run amok, cause a lot of havoc with the local Indio girls, and obviously the cannibals turn. Great film. And another classic. I'm sure the Blair Witch Project got their plot from this, you know. Group of people go into the jungle, same as before, to look for a missing documentary film crew, and they find some tape there. When they get it back, they see what happened. A little bit like Blair Witch, really, same sort of premise. Cannibal Man. I used to love the opening theme. It's not really a cannibal at all. Not at all. He works in an abattoir, a slaughterhouse, whatever you want to call it, and he ends up stacking up a load of bodies at his house. Quite good though. Cannibal Terror. Nightmare Concert, or Cat in the Brain. I love the music to this. Let me just give you a minute of it. Yeah, I quite like the music to Cat in the Brain. City of the Living Dead. Another Fulci movie. He was the granddaddy, wasn't he, really, let's be honest, of this era. Lucio Fulci. These effects were like a little bit cheesy, but gross. Dead and Buried, another great film. Good plot, good acting. Deranged. I think this is kind of basically loosed on Ed Gein, you know, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre story. Devil Hunter, Jesse Franco movie. Now this wasn't an official nasty, but it's got that feeling about it. Don't answer the phone. And like I've said before, they love telling you, don't do this, don't do that. And we're into the D, so you'll see. Don't go into the house. Don't go into the woods alone. Don't go near the park. And don't look in the basement. Yeah, they like that. Abel Ferreira's 1979 arty film, Driller Killer. Strange one, really. I mean, look at that cover. That's gruesome, isn't it? Talk about salacious. Death Trap. Eaten Alive. There it is. The Evil Dead. This comedy, schlock, horror. It's a classic. It is a classic, and it still stands up today. Evil Dead 2. Evil Speak. And this has got Ron Howard's brother in it. What's his name? I can't think of his name now. I'll put a picture of him up because his name escapes me. The Exorcist, the 1973 William Friedkin. Classic. House on Straw Hill, or Expose, starring Uda Kier. The Exterminator. Again, not an official nasty, but if you watch it, you're left with that sleazy feeling washed all over you, so it definitely fits in there. Plus some of the effects are pretty gruesome. I mean, a guy gets his throat slit in the Vietnam scene at the beginning, and it opens right up in front of you. It's gross. Now, the mockumentary Faces of Death. Now this is a real gross out film. It is mondo, so it's not all real. Some of it is staged, like the electrocution shown on the cover here. But there is some real autopsies and some animal deaths, and police shootings, so that they mix it up. Strange old movie. Fight for Your Life. This wouldn't get released nowadays with all the racial slurs that are going on. This film is full on. Flesh for Frankenstein, the Andy Warhol movies. There was this and Blood for Dracula. Not an official nasty, but I don't think you can mention the video nasties era without the 1980 Friday the 13th. Part 2, 1981, and 1982 Friday the 13th Part 3 in 3D. Frozen Scream, bit of a crap one, that one, 1975. Tobe Hooper's Funhouse. The Gestapo's Last Orgy, little Nazi exploitation film now. Blood Rights, 1968. I mean, this is an old one and really cheesy. Night of the Zombies, or Zombies Creeping Flesh. Auto Stop, or Hitchhike with David Hess. I like this film. I like the trilogy with David Hess. You know, Last House on the Left, House on the Edge of the Park, and this. He plays a sociopath in all of them. Brilliant. Fulci again, House by the Cemetery, and the second in the Hess films, House on the Edge of the Park. I like this film. I think it's directed by Ruggiero Deodato. He also did Cannibal FEROX, Human Experiments, I Miss You, Hugs and Kisses, and another Mac Daddy in the video nasties, I Spit on Your Grave, starring Camille Keaton. It was originally going to be called Day of the Woman, but they settled for I Spit on Your Grave. And this is infamous, absolutely infamous. This is usually called Cannibal Apocalypse, but for some reason Cody has given me a new cover. Basically, guys come back from Nam, infected, and it's got John Saxon and John Morgan from Cannibal, FEROX and House on the Edge of the Park too. So I actually thought that was a really good film. And when I stopped watching video Nasties, it was this movie that actually kind of got me back into them again. I hadn't seen it, bought it off American Amazon, got the uncut version just to watch it, and the way it was filmed, the music, the acting, the whole flavour got me right back into it again. Island of Death. This is one sick film. Brother and sister who fuck each other. Go to a Greek island and run amok, kill a nun. Lady Stay Dead, 1981. The last horror film, starring the late great Joe Spinell, who was in one of my favourites in this collection, The Maniac. Last House on Dead End Street, and the third in the Hess trilogy, The Last House on the Left. This is a powerful film. It's a great film. And it was directed by Wes Craven. Yeah, classic. Night Train Murders, The Living Dead at the Manchester Morgue. Love Camp 7, Man from the Deep River. Not a bad film, nice bit of music going on in the background, but to be honest with you, too much animal cruelty for my liking. Maniac, starring Joe Spinell. I really like this. I really like this, and I love the music. Maniac Cop, The Mardi Gras Massacre, 1978. That's a strange old film. Geezer keeps he keeps going into these bars in New Orleans, looking for the most cruelest evil women, and then he puts them on an altar and sacrifices them. Absurd. It's another classic. Mountain of the Cannibal God. And this actually stars Ursula Andress and Stacy Keach. So, another load of animal cruelty in it though. My Bloody Valentine, 1981. And Lucio Fulci's 1982 New York Ripper. This is great. Some nasty scenes in it. Razor blade, a girl tied to the bed and cut to shreds it with a razor blade, right through the breast, right through the eyeball. Gross, really. Night of the Bloody Apes, 1969. This one does look like it was made in 69, but this is funny. This to me, this one's actually funny. Night of the Demon. I don't know what the budget was on this, but I don't think it was a lot, but the acting's hilarious. And there's a famous scene where a motorbike guy pulls over, that's a picture of him there, goes to have a toilet in the bushes and it rips his genitals off. Terrorize or Night School. And this one stars Rachel Ward. That's right. Nightmares in a Damaged Brain. This is another messed up film. Really like this one. That little kid was bad. Nightmare City, or City of the Walking Dead, another Lucio Fulci. Pieces, Sam Neill in Possession. Pranks, 1982. Prom Night with Jamie Lee Curtis. The Prowler. Effects again by Tom Savini, as in The Slayer. Snuff, which isn't a real snuff film, but by the way, it's like a cheesy biker film that just had that salacious title. But Squirm, SS Experiment Camp, Nazi exploitation. He's kind of crap, really, a little bit. It's not quite as bad as Ills of the Wicked Warden, but I mean, you wouldn't get away with putting that cover out now, would you? Street Trash, 1987. The Stuff, 85. Suspiria, Dario Argento, 1977. Great music to this, by Goblin. Another film by Dario Argento, Tenebrae. It's another great film. I think this one stars John Saxon, doesn't it? Yep, it does. Now, this wasn't actually an official Nasty, but it was out the same sort of time, 74 this. But it was definitely in that era, and it's in the same vein. It was one we all talked about back in the early 80s. Have you seen? But the thing is, with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, there's hardly any blood or guts in it. It's really, really cleverly done when you look back on it. You think you see a lot more than you actually did. Tobe Hooper's first movie. And, let's be honest, it's bloody brilliant. Texas Chainsaw 2 with Dennis Hopper. Madhouse. The Toolbox Murders. Toxic Zombies, or Blood Eaters, 1980 that was. Dario Argento's Trauma. Unhinged, 1982. Wife bought me that on DVD. Right, now these two are documentaries. Now this was the original one that come out. Video Nasties, The Definitive Guide. And it's bloody brilliant. It's made by Jake West on Nuclear Films, and it really does go into detail, and it actually has the trailers to all of the 72 original band movies, and its follow-up was Draconian Days, which was released in 2014. Fantastic. Both of them documentaries I couldn't recommend highly enough if you're into this whole Video Nasties stuff. Actually got that on t-shirt. Yeah. Visiting Hours, The Werewolf and the Yeti, 1975. This is a little bit cheesy. What Have You Done to Solange, which is more of a Galileo film really, but it kind of suits. The Witch That Came from the Sea. She likes to cut men down to size. Women in prison films. Women Behind Bars. Extra freaked me out when I was young. See a woman give birth to a full-grown man. Kind of sci-fi, 1982. Zombie Flesh Eaters, or Zombie in the States. Lucio Fulci's masterpiece as far as I'm concerned. With a great soundtrack. Zombie Holocaust, another one with some really cool music. Zombies Lake, with the cheesiest special effects you'll ever watch. And finally, the great title, Zombie Nosh. You've just sat through the Nasties.